Good evening. By the time our son Nick died in March of 2017, that was his fifth and fatal overdose. This was the end of a long road of addiction that started by putting him on ADHD medication in elementary school. We were so broken and had been hurt by our church that we had been attending at that point. But Pastor Aaron had shown us so much love and support even before Nick's passing. About a year before Nick passed, Aaron came over one day as we were getting ready to leave to go to the hospital and asked if he could pray with us. And of course, we both said yes. For me, it brought me great peace because at that point, I was able to give everything over to God, and it brought me peace. I knew I myself couldn't fix the problem, and I gave it all to God to handle. And this was the beginning of Nick's 9 months of sobriety, the last one he would have. When we walked into Fusion that April Sunday after the funeral, I know for myself I could feel the love, and I felt like we were home. We had so much support between Pastor Aaron, Pastor Kate, and everyone else. I remember the first year I probably cried every Sunday. I also began to pray for a purpose in my life because I knew I wasn't going back to the work that I did. I couldn't do it. And many mornings I woke up with "Whom the sun sets free, oh, is free indeed," playing over and over in my head. But my purpose did come for both Stan and I. We became part of the opiate response team about 5 months after Nick passed away. Pastor Jim Spry asked us to go to a meeting, and that's how we got involved in that. My goal with that was if I could save one parent from going through what we went through, it was all worth it. That August, I went to Aaron and I said, International Overdose Awareness Day is August 31st. Can we do something? And he backed me. It was a small event, 15 of us in Lexington Community Park, but it has grown. This year's our 9th one, and hopefully we have helped people. We've started having resource tents. We do memory walls, which I work on every year, asking out to my mother's groups to send me pictures. And the last and most important thing God has put on our hearts are our blessing bags. We started doing those in November of 2019. And I wasn't sure how we were going to get the items we needed, but we did. At first we paid for them, and the items were just provided. God kept providing the money. Stan was the only one working, but we had it. And when we'd go into Dollar Tree shopping, and I'd have my cart full of stuff, people would go, "What are you doing with all of that?" And I'd say what we were doing. People would hand money sometimes, or thank you. Felt a little strange, taking money from strangers, but I thanked them and took it anyways. But slowly we started getting donations, and we put bins in here at church. I just wanted people to know that we're receiving the bags, that someone cared, and I wanted them to know that Jesus does love them and that they are forgiven. They go to New Beginnings, the treatment center. They go to CAC. They go to a couple sober livings. From January to July of just this year, we've done 175 bags. We also are they go to some of the homeless also. We work with 3rd Street. So that's kind of, we were getting bags that said TAP on them, but in my brilliantness, I've decided I wanted them to say the 1122 project. So now my cricket's gonna be busy making bags. And these are the items that go in there. Everybody gets a Bible. Everybody has a journal, puzzle books. The guys get decks of cards. Girls get fuzzy socks. I try to include little notes that I've handwritten because a lot of them, their families have given up on them. And I want them to know somebody does care.
The bags are set on the bed. So
Yeah.
when they walk in, it's just there. They don't know it came from us. You know, it's just something that they get. So,
We have volunteers sometimes. Thanks.
Right. But sometimes it's a phone call, hey, or a text, I'm out of bags, and then we have to hurry and get them because I feel like I need to get them there because people could be checking in. And I want them to know they're there. So they do, like New Beginnings, which is Catalyst's Sober Living or Treatment Center. They have a supply of them in their closet, so when they know they're getting somebody, it's there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And is our tradition, we will pray for you guys and your ministry. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. You guys come over here.
I actually got some questions.
All right. Uh-oh.
That we can, number one, the one question I have is that when you went to the Mental Health Recovery Board as
I'm a parent of an addict. Even though my son is no longer here, I'm still a parent. I
Okay.
bring that knowledge.
and they tell you how valuable your input is to that board, and you've been on that board almost 8, 9 years,
This is the start of my 6th year.
6th year.
Yeah, I
And
think so.
what do you do for that board? I mean, you're director, you're
I'm just stepped down from my 2nd term as the chair.
as the chair.
Yeah, I just finished, May was the end of my term as
Okay.
chair.
And a lot of people here don't know really what the Mental Health Recovery Board does.
We subsidize, we give a portion of money to Catalyst, New Beginnings, Family Life, UMADOT. Let's see, who's the other ones? NAMI, Casey, who's in all the schools teaching young kids about drugs and how to say, you know, what they are basically, and giving them education, so.
Then you do have a crisis line that.
Yes, we have a
And how many
warm
people
line.
go to that, I know that.
I'm not even sure the statistics, the current ones right now, but we do have a warm line that's answered 24/7.
24/7.
Yeah.
And I know in Ashland County, because I'm her counterpart in Ashland County, that we serviced last year school kids in the Ashland community. 2,300 kids were helped through the program, through our agency. I know their agency is larger than our agency. I know that they reach a lot more kids than what we do. So
Yeah.
it's so important in the Richland County area to be involved with that community. How long have you known the board in your life?
I was not raised in church, I'll tell you that. But there's always been people that God has put in my life. So I have gone to church with neighbors in every vacation Bible school. And then when I married Stan, we were in church, so.
You were in church. So once you accepted Jesus into your heart,
That was
Thanks,
probably
Jesus.
in college,
in college.
yes.
Okay. How about you, Stan?
I grew up in a Presbyterian church, and my parents built this building. So,
Amen. Amen.
and then the Grange Hall that we were in, that was our Grange
The first,
building, the first church Aaron had.
Mhm.
But I grew up in a Presbyterian church, and then I got married in a Lutheran church, and was a member there since '78.
Okay. And a lot of people, even though they see you and you greet them and you've done things, you have been instrumental in Fusion Church and are one of the mainstays for Fusion here, as well as in Lexington, that you guys were there. And our church wouldn't be the church it is today without you guys being there and helping to guide and being like Eric says a lot of times, a covering for this church. So we
Thank you.
do appreciate you to be in there. Is there anything else that you would like to say? I know Eric has a couple things that he would like to do.
Well, Ed, I thought you were gonna say, we always sat in the same seats. Well, we did that in Lexington too, and we were greeting one day, and some people came in and sat in our seats. And people come up and go, well, we can tell them to move.
That's good. So if you guys have any questions, I know Eric, if you have any questions about what's going on brief-wise, anything like that involved, this is the time that we would want to ask them any questions that you would like. Anybody? All right, Eric, take it away. Oh,
March to,
I just like to know how you came to know the Lord, how that came about. When you got really
I went to a college that was Mennonite, but my floor was mainly apostolic girls, so there you go.
awesome.
Stan, how did you go from Presbyterian to charismatic Pentecostal church?
Probably my mom was the strongest person in my faith. She pushed that. She was, real involved in church.
We do hear you have a really strange neighbor, I guess. You have
Yeah,
who's your neighbor? Pastor Aaron is the
Yeah.
neighbor. So.
and probably having him come along beside us in one of the worst weeks of our lives.
And then Jen is part of the women's ministry
Mhm.
here.
And we're in charge of the greeters, so if anybody wants to sign up,
He's going to use that.
Yes, I know.